Welcome back, everyone. Let's continue our discussion of the different materials used in kitchen and bath design. In this video, we're going to be talking about the different materials used for fittings. Remember that fittings are items that deliver water, such as the kitchen sink faucets, the lavatory faucets, your bathtub spout filler, and your shower head. There's two important things to know about the materials of your fittings, and the first is the base construction material, what is used to fabricate that fitting, and the next is the finishing options, and that's going to be what you see and touch on the outside of the fitting. Let's start by talking about the base construction materials. Brass is the traditional fitting construction material. It's durable, it's long lasting, and it holds up to heavy use. Of course, it is one of the more expensive options. You can use brass in part of the construction of your fitting, or you can construct the entire thing out of solid brass. If you have a solid brass fitting, you can express that brass as the finish option also, or you can plate it with other finishes. Copper is used in fittings only for some of the valve connections. It's soft, it's easily bent, and is prone to surface corrosion. Plastics, surprisingly, are used in many fittings. They're used in the valve systems and the cartridges, some of the gaskets. Plastic is smooth, so it allows for easy water flow. And of course, it's relatively soft. Now, some of the least expensive fittings out there are going to be constructed entirely out of plastic. That's going to be very inexpensive, but keep an eye out for quality because these aren't going to last. They're not going to be very durable. Moving on to stainless steel. Stainless steel is more expensive than brass even, but it's needed in specific uses when you have high pressure and high temperature. Similar to the brass, you can use it as only your base construction material and then plate it with another finish, or you could express that stainless steel. Finally, zinc is another base construction material for fittings. It can be cast into the forms. It is stronger than the plastics and it's smoother than the brass, all right, once it's cast. So it requires less polishing and allows for a smoother water flow. The downfall with zinc is that contact with water will cause corrosion. So you must plate every surface of your zinc fitting that's going to come into contact with water, which is every surface. All right. So now let's talk about the different finishing options for your fittings. Remember, these are kind of the outside finishes, what you see, what you touch. And the most popular one of these is polished chrome. Polished chrome is bright, it's durable, it doesn't oxidize, so you don't need to polish it. It's already polished, all right? The base metal, whatever you constructed your fitting out of, is first nickel plated, and then the chrome is electrostatically deposited. You can see kind of a animation of how that happens here. You can also have brushed or matte chrome finishes, and this is done by texturing the surface of the component before you put the chrome on it. All right, with the brushed finish, you use a wire wheel. And with the matte finish, they use something similar to sandblasting to give that texture. Many different types of fixture finishes use a process called physical vapor deposition. And this is a plating process. And you can kind of see an illustration of it on the slide here. The PVD or vapor deposition process is durable. It doesn't corrode, tarnish, or discolor, and it's available in nickel, gold, bronze, and brass. So many of the popular finishes you see on your fittings are going to use PVD. Here's a couple more fitting finishing options. Colored coatings. In the illustration here, we have a white fitting. All right, a tinted epoxy coating will create that colored finish. The downside of this is that it's not as durable. Some abrasive cleaners can scratch these finishes, so you have to maintain them carefully. And finally, there's a whole category called living finishes. These are uncoated finishes and they will change color and texture with age. That includes oil rubbed bronze, weathered copper, and real brass. So let's finish up by kind of this gallery of some popular fitting finishes. Go ahead and pause the video here and see if you can identify these different finishes. Thanks everyone. In this video, we just covered the different materials used for the fittings in your kitchen and bath projects.